On the 11th, 12th of August, we have a full moon. This is a collective message for everyone. We're currently in Leo season, so the sun is in Leo. Leo is about our joy, our inner child, having fun, love, being brave, being confident, right? Now this full moon, which will be the last super full moon for 2020, happening on the 11th, 12th of August, depending on your location, is in the sign of Aquarius. Both Leo and Aquarius are fixed signs. Now, what is happening with this full moon is that we also have Saturn with it, because Saturn is in Aquarius. There's also a square to Uranus in Taurus, another fixed sign, okay? So let's talk about Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. And it's a lot to do with our intellect. It's a lot to do with our community, our group, our ability to find our group, the people that connect to us, resonate with us, feel in alignment with us, our place where we belong. So that is the energy of Aquarius. It's a lot to do with communication, thinking. The one thing about Aquarius, though, because it's a fixed sign, overthinking. Overthinking things can be very trying during this full moon. Now, Saturn is in Aquarius, so the full moon is conjunct Saturn. They're together. We can feel very serious, very heavy about our feelings. Meaning, this is how I feel, and the feeling can feel stuck within us, like we can't release it, we can't communicate it. It feels difficult to get out or to be expressed. There's a very serious feeling with our feelings during this full moon, and given that it's the last super full moon and the full moon is closest to the earth, it's really asking us to release. It's bringing out our deepest feelings. Now, with this full moon, we also have the square to Uranus and Taurus. So unexpected things can happen. This is where we can become impulsive. We can experience mood swings. Things change. Things abruptly change. What we expect, the unexpected happens. So I'll be expecting, for example, this is going to happen. All of a sudden, the unexpected hits me and throws me off course. And I feel like I can't get through because emotionally I'm feeling stuck. I don't know which is the solution. And Aquarius is the sign of solutions. It's about thinking outside of the box, not seeing the box, the structure, which is Saturn. Saturn rules structure, where things are fixed in a certain position, the structure of a building. But now it's where you have to see beyond. And that's the way to get through this. The one thing you need to have is a sense of patience during this full moon, emotional maturity, and also the ability to be vulnerable with how you feel. If you try to control the situation or to control a group or try and, maybe force someone to see your perspective, this will not go down well. You should rather come from a place of how you're feeling in order to bring in the connection through an aspect of vulnerability. Right? And vulnerability is where we get really deep, where I'm feeling, neglected. I'm feeling hurt, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling pushed aside. Instead of, the things that we do sometimes in order to not let our vulnerability out. So instead of saying I'm feeling neglected, we will become like, you don't have time for me. Right? Do you understand the difference? Instead of saying, I feel, maybe we should spend more time together, or I feel maybe we should do things this way, as I feel alone in this, and it reminds me of a past experience, and maybe I need to learn to also be more independent, but can you help me? There's a difference with vulnerability, where you open up from a place of either needing help or needing someone to assist you, or sharing your feelings. Just sharing things. Sometimes it's not even something that someone is doing. It's just an internal feeling within you, Like, I wish you wouldn't say that, because it makes me feel a certain way. Instead of getting to the point of, don't say that to me, right? We need to get to a place of becoming more vulnerable with this full moon. And being vulnerable sometimes is not easy for everyone. And that's where the compassion comes through with Aquarius, where we accept the parts of ourselves that we don't normally accept. It's very difficult to say to someone sometimes, especially us as human beings, because we're afraid of rejection. And that's the one thing about Aquarius, especially the energy of it. In order to embrace rejection, you have to accept yourself and how you feel, right? So think of feeling rejection, but you're pushing everyone away because you're afraid of rejection, instead of being like, this is a fear of mine. I need space to deal with this fear of rejection. I need space to deal with this insecurity. When we are being vulnerable, we let our insecurities out into the world. And that's a difficult thing. But make sure when you're doing this in a safe space. Meaning with people that you know who will accept your insecurities and vulnerabilities. And that's how we can connect and create deeper bonds. It's not through pushing away or rejection of others. And we do that. As human beings, it can be very easy sometimes to reject people based on not even allowing them to come in because we're afraid that they might hurt us, mistreat us, abuse us, neglect us, instead of stating it. And it's hard to state. I have a fear of rejection, and I've experienced it before. And so I need time to deal with my feelings, you know? I need to deal with those feelings. I need to embrace self-acceptance. When we truly accept ourselves, rejection becomes less fearful. Because when you accept you for all that you are, you know, every single thing, the insecurities, the doubts, the fears, the hurts, the pain, everything, part of the journey, the happy moments, all of it, you can truly accept yourself. And when you truly accept yourself, it's a lot easier to open up from the heart and be vulnerable, because it's not about the outside world and the people around you and the relationships you have and how they feel about you. But it's about you being able to use your voice. Aquarius, it's an air sign, to communication, and accept yourself as you are, regardless of the world outside of you, the people outside of you. And that's how we get success during this full moon, is that we will be met with restrictions due to Saturn being with this full moon. But the way to overcome is through patience and emotional maturity. And emotional maturity is not through throwing a tantrum or being afraid of rejection and pushing out people before they can reject you, getting on the defensive. It's about really embracing yourself for all that you are in order to connect. Remember, the sun is still in Leo. Leo is brave and confident. And that's the energy of it, to actually use and utilize this. The sun still being in Leo. Now, the South Node is in Scorpio. Also a fixed sign, a fixed water sign, with the North Node being in Taurus. So we are releasing a lot of stuff emotionally, especially because the South Node's in a water sign, of emotional pain, trauma, doubts, insecurities, past hurts. And we are moving to the North Node, destiny point of value. And in order to have people, places, and situations that truly value us, it's important to be vulnerable, right? Because if you can't truly be yourself, then you can't accept yourself, and you can't have people around you that absolutely value you, because you aren't being true to yourself, and being true to yourself is hard. You need to embrace all your eccentric ways. And that's the thing about Aquarius and the energy of it, is what about you that makes you different, unique, and having to be that comfort for you in order to connect to the people outside of you that can be the comfort for you. Okay, so that's important. And we are releasing a lot of wounds, a lot of pain, especially with the South Node being in Scorpio. And the fact that the North Node's in Taurus, we're moving towards value. We're moving out of that pain in order to, being of value and seeing those around us that we can truly have on this journey to support us. This full moon can create a lot of drama between relationships, family, friends, relationships, love relationships, even children, because of that whole feeling of Saturn being there. You need to be aware of embracing feelings of sometimes feeling a bit depressed during this full moon, and even rejection. But we can embrace rejection. Remember, when we get no's, it's not no from the whole world. A no just means a new direction. It's pushing you towards your destiny, not no in Taurus. So no's are not bad. Rejection isn't bad. And I think if more of us could connect to the deepest parts of ourselves, whether you're trying for a job, whether you're doing an interview, whether it's a relationship, and we truly embraced rejection, we could truly embrace ourselves, authentic selves, and really find and connect to the people who can connect to us in a deeper, more emotional way. Thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe. My website's linked down below if you'd like reading, as well as a link for appreciation of these videos.